Baby Joe Pippa's come, wants to say hi.
Hi, Baby Joe.
Hi.
Hi there. All right. Well, welcome everyone to last meeting of the 2019-2020 Rotary Club of Mississauga West. We have a lot of guests from around the world here tonight, as well as our own club members and their guests. So welcome. Going to start with O Canada, and I want to thank Jack for this version. This is a really special one. It's actually a student by the name of William Leathers. He's actually from Mississauga. He got accepted into the Juilliard School of Music, however, didn't have any money to go. So he did a GoFundMe page and actually raised enough money that helped him pay for his first 2 years. He's been so successful at Juilliard that he's actually on scholarship for the last 2 years.
Nice.
For Canada, we are going to, and I just have to find it. There we go.
But not, I can't get that down review.
Heather, can you mute folks? There.
Yes. No, but it's not there. It's that one with all the little stickers. Yeah, but it's not there. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, can you unmute yourself, please, and lead us in invocation?
I just did.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, thank you, President Betty Jo. Fellow Rotarians and friends, as we all sit at home individually, let us give thanks for our many blessings, including thanks to all those in healthcare in the front lines who have been helping to fight the pandemic, and to all those involved in keeping us safe, healthy, and fed. For the fellowship that we are sharing as we get together on Zoom. The flame of fellowship may have to flicker during this time, but it certainly cannot be extinguished. And we all very much look forward to meeting again in person as a club soon. As we emerge from the pandemic, may we continue to remember those less fortunate than ourselves. And may we be so inspired as to be even more innovative in thinking of how we can help those in need in our community and around the world. Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
And for those of you to raise your glass to Canada, to the Queen, and Rotarians around the world. Cheers.
The world.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So if you unmute yourself, let me just bring it over here. We have quite a few guests we would like to welcome. So Sajad, you'll have to unmute yourself and then we'll start with you.
Good evening, my fellow Rotarians, honored guests, family and friends. It is my great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all members and guests who have joined us here today via Zoom, some locally and some from halfway across the world. And I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to do so. Although for some of you, it's either midnight or very early morning, but welcome anyways. Let me quickly introduce my guests. First and foremost, I'm happy that my mother, Batul, who is 90 years young, is watching here in London, Ontario, with my brother and his wife, Ume. My son, Muhammad, and my daughter, Fatima, are watching from Richmond Hill. My late uncle's wife, Maria Khanbai, is watching from Sevenoaks, Kent, and she has been a big part of my success. And I believe her son, Hamid Khanbai, is also zooming in from the Cayman Islands.
Welcome, everyone.
My cousin Latif Khanbai, who is also a Rotarian and past Assistant District Governor of Rotary Club of Woking, England, should be signing in pretty soon if it's not yet. Renee Blanchett, who is my sponsor, mentor, and great friend, is supposed to be on too. My cousin Sakina and her family are watching from Brampton, Ontario. My good friend Stan D'Souza is watching from Etobicoke. One of our past club members, Farida Merchant, is on watching from Etobicoke too. My friend Tas is also zooming in from London, England. My good friend Joseph Rais and family are watching from Montreal, Quebec. Some very good longtime friends of mine, Jalil and Ella Rice, are watching us from Tunisia. And my two good friends from Singapore, Shireen and Farida, are zooming in also from Singapore. Thank you all for joining, and a very warm welcome to all of you.
That's quite a cast, Sajad, and I welcome everyone from around the world. It's my pleasure to introduce my family. My husband, Rob, my children, Chris and Leah, are all here with me tonight, along with my mom, Jo Keats, who's zooming in from her retirement community. I also have some very special guests to welcome and thank for joining tonight is Myrna and Barry Vasella from Cape Beach, New South Wales, Australia. They're a host family for me. However, I probably spent more time in their house than anyone else, any other house while I lived in Australia. And they really have become my second parents. I adopted them back in 1980, and they still are my second parents. They've in fact been to Canada 6 or 7 times, and my parents have been to Australia 4 times to visit them. So thank you, Barry and Myrna, for joining us tonight. So we have some club guests as well. Mano, you got on. Are you there, darling?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
And what time is it in France, Mano?
It's 1 a.m. right now.
Okay, so don't talk too loud. Don't wake up.
Yeah, no.
Welcome, Mano. Serena, I don't think Serena got on to join us. And then some of our members have guests with us. Bernie, would you like to introduce your guest? Remember, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, my guest is my lovely wife, Diana Barco.
Hi.
And we're here to celebrate this great event.
Excellent. Hi, Diana. Peter, if you want to unmute yourself, you can introduce your guest. Peter, you're going to unmute yourself. And Bart, you want to introduce, unmute yourself, and Selwyn, you want to unmute.
Okay, yes, Pat Snyder joined us.
Welcome, Pat. And
Yes,
Bart?
yes, I'm very happy to introduce my wife, Jean.
Welcome, Jean, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And Selwyn?
Everyone, I think, knows Pippa, but it's very nice to have her with us this evening.
Welcome. Are there any other members who have guests?
We have our son and daughter, Min and Miley, on the call with us. Yes.
Hello, Min and Miley. Great for you to join us. And Serena from Taiwan, you've now joined us. Hey, Serena. You might be on mute, girl, but I know you came in, so it's good to have you with us. So we got an action-packed day tonight. We will actually go over slightly in our, but I hope that will be okay for everyone. Oh, and so the first thing, Serena's got to get onto a bus fairly soon. I wanted to start with this, and some of you may have seen this on our club Facebook page. Our Rotary exchange student currently in Taiwan, Serena, our club member Judy's daughter, of course, she went to Taiwan not speaking any Mandarin. At the end of the year, I guess they have a public speaking contest, and our exchange student, we are very proud to say, of the entire district, came in second. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it. Luckily, Serena put in subtitles, so you can actually see what she's saying, and you can hear her speaking Mandarin.
我在台湾已经近10个月，我对台湾的文化很熟悉，学过泡茶、煮汤、跳舞，也爬过好几座山。你们想猜猜我在台湾爬过几座山吗？猜猜猜，爬过24座山。我今年留下很多很特别的回忆，但是时间不够可以全部跟你们讲，所以我先跟你们讲3个很难忘的故事。第一个是，当我到我第一个轰家的时候，中文只会讲，所以我后妈很认真教我中文，每一次要教我新单字，后妈要重复。
Can you folks hear her talking?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to fast forward it. You can see how it's just amazing how much she has learned. And I'm just going to fast forward it toward the end where she is actually playing her instrument that she has learned.
I'm not getting it.
We're not getting it.
Don't hear anything.
We don't hear a thing.
No?
Or see a
Okay.
thing.
Okay, is anybody else hearing it?
No, but
I hear
I did. I
No
did.
problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I heard it.
must be it. Anyway, Serena, Serena, you've joined us now. Welcome. And congratulations on second place and how incredibly well you've learned to speak Mandarin. It's a huge accomplishment, and we're very, very proud of you. So congratulations.
I think she's dropped out again.
Has she?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to flip over quickly to, we're on for 2 weeks, so we're going to talk about, just cover our birthdays and anniversaries. First of all, our wedding anniversaries. We've got a couple of big ones coming up. Jack and Mary Schofield on June 26th, 55 years.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary. That's amazing.
Oh.
Thank you.
And Selwyn and Pippa, July 4th, 56 years. Wow. Well done, Pippa.
Well done, Selwyn.
Also, joining Rotary anniversary, we also have another one coming up over the next 2 weeks. Selwyn on July 1st, 25 years that you've been a Rotarian. So we want to thank you for your incredible number of years of service. Well done.
Thank you.
The next thing I want to do is to recognize and take a moment and recognize a simply outstanding Rotarian. Jennifer DeGo has worn many hats in our own club, including president, and has gone on to do many great things at the district level. First, she spent 3 years taking the Interact and Early Act program to heights not ever seen before by our district. Her energy and enthusiasm was infectious as she supported all the various clubs and organized activities to bring them together. Since then, she has taken on larger roles, both with the Rotary International Convention in Toronto in the House of Friendship and as chair of this year's district conference. It's supposed to be October 3rd. Chances are it's getting postponed. We haven't heard that officially, but Jennifer was the lead on this role. And then she took on the role of district governor for Mississauga cluster in 2017. In year 1, she shared the responsibility with Jan Gerard. However, Jan had to step down in year 2 because her husband Doug was ill. Jen stepped up and covered the assistant governor role for the last 2 years on her own for all 7 Mississauga clubs, visiting all the clubs regularly, guiding us on district policies, encouraging us to fill in our goals and share our successes. Jennifer is certainly the embodiment of a successful Rotarian. Her dedication and her devotion and her success in all that she has accomplished is a stellar role model for many new Rotarians. We are very proud of you, proud that you are a member of our club, Jennifer, and we would like to give you a token of our thanks for your efforts as assistant governor. Jennifer, if you can just speak so we can see you on our screen.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. And Jennifer, someone in your family should be passing you a gift.
Right,
Yeah.
right here. It's on the video. We did our job. Thank you, Betty Jo.
There you go.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Well, Jennifer, thank you. It's been an amazing ride, and you've done a great job the last 3 years, and it's kind of an unsung hero kind of position, but thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you, Jennifer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Well deserved.
Yes, absolutely. The next thing I just want to talk on very briefly, and I hope I can get this to work. 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege of the Rotary Club of Scotland, a club called South Queensferry. This is actually, if you remember, Gordon McAnally, who spoke to us on May 26th. It's his wife's Rotary Club. And the guest speaker that night was last year's international president, Barry Rassin. He talked about what Rotary is doing with COVID, and I thought it was quite insightful. So I'm just going to flip over and just play just a couple of minutes of the presentation he gave to that Rotary Club. There you are. Now, tell me if you can hear. Some of you may not be able to, I'm afraid. Let's just see. The right point, 133. Here we go.
Let me start with the foundation. Early in March, the foundation started getting a lot of requests for grants for COVID-19 projects, and they had to move quickly, which some of you who have worked with the global grants may think about.
I can't hear anything or see
part of our vocabulary. But let me tell you,
have to press the switch to screen share, then you can see it.
Early
Oh,
March,
thanks,
they put
Chris.
$1 million from the World Fund into the disaster fund,
Screen share.
used
Where
for
the heck is
COVID-19 only.
Top left
And
corner.
as district projects, $25,000 each, which is the way the disaster fund works. Within 5 days, they'd already approved 43 grants and had spent the $1 million. If you do the math, 25,000, 1 million, 43. They also then asked districts around the world, can you put some of your district designated fund into the disaster fund? So we have a lot of rollover DDF sitting out there. Let's put it into the disaster fund and help clubs and districts around the world to deal with the situation we're faced with today. And some did. And then the foundation put another $2 million into it. So they were really trying hard to keep up with the number of requests. They ended up approving over almost $5 million out of the disaster fund for COVID-19. And they approved $12 million of funding for global grants for COVID-19. So basically $17, $18 million went for COVID-19 within 6 weeks. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's incredible that they were able to turn that around so quickly.
So $17 million in 6 weeks is what, between the Rotary Foundation and the World Disaster, we're able to pull together on projects that were approved. So truly an amazing accomplishment by Rotary International and all the Rotarians around the world. So truly Rotary is responding to COVID, and I think that was quite exciting news.
Betty Jo, did he give any examples at all of the specific projects that the money was sent to?
No, he didn't that night at all. So, and I'm sure we will hear more down the road. But yeah, I didn't get any details to what they were. Next thing I just wanted to touch on, remember that the first ever virtual Rotary International Convention is taking place. You've gotten some emails on the links. Everything's being recorded, so you can watch it at your leisure, but highly encourage you to get in because there certainly is some excellent things happening. I think to what Rajiv's comment was, this is actually, I think, probably coming off even better than what they had hoped it would come off. So that's going on now. All right. It is now my pleasure to officially begin our Rotary Club of Mississauga West Changeover event. Because of our current circumstances, we cannot carry on this important occasion in the traditional manner. And as you can see by the photo, we're improvising, passing on the torch while respecting our social distancing. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you the president of the Rotary Club of Mississauga West for 2021, Sajad Jawaji.
Thank you, President Betty Jo.
So hopefully all of you can see both of us on your screen. I know you can only see a couple and ideally you can see both, but in a normal world, I would now have the honor of pinning our new president with the new pin. You can see that there. Oh, you know, this is where I have to turn off my virtual, let's do this for a minute here.
No, it was good, Betty Jo.
Yeah, you know what? The next part doesn't work. I'm just going to turn it off anyways because it does get complicated. Anyway, I'm just going to show this again. This is the new pin for our Rotary president. Anyway, as I say, normally I would be able to just pass it on. However, that's not going to happen, as we can well know, with social distancing. So, Sajad, I've got your pin, and what I'm going to have to do instead is I'm going to have to throw it to you. So you got to keep in mind, folks, I'm in Mississauga, Sajad's in London. So Sajad, are you ready?
I sure am. Make sure you come to the right house.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Got it. Good job.
Got it. Here's the pin, guys.
In addition,
good catch.
It is also my pleasure to pass to you, Sajad, the Rotary theme for 2021 under RI President Holger Knack, which is Rotary Opens Opportunities. This theme asks Rotarians to create opportunities to strengthen their leadership, help put service ideas into action, and to improve the lives of those in need. I want to point out something really important about this banner. Obviously, the gold and the blue doors represent Rotary. But, and my daughter actually pointed this out, the pink door represents Rotaract. This is significant because this year, for the first time, Rotaract is now recognized as an equal partner organization rather than a program within Rotary. And I'm personally very proud and pleased to say that my daughter Leah will be inaugurated as president of the Rotaract Club of Mississauga this Thursday night at their changeover meeting. So Sajad, in ways that can only be done on Zoom, I want to pass you the banner for 2021. Again, hopefully everyone can see both of us. Are you ready, Sajad?
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. There you go. Sajad, you officially have the new banner. And of course, once we meet in person, he will be able to put it up in our club. Sajad, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Betty Jo. I would now like to introduce to you our very experienced leadership team of elected board members. Michael Flanagan will be our president-elect and our club service director. Judy Gast will be our club secretary for this year. Mary Jane Rodriguez will be our club treasurer. Richard Blake will be our club foundation director. David Hay is our club vocational service director. Casey Kretz, will be our club community service director. Betty Jo Parent will be our club membership chair and youth exchange. David Shermer will be director of technology, and Bryce English and Alan Fong, both of them will be directors at large. Under normal circumstances, I would now give you your director pins, but we will get them out to you as soon as possible. I look forward to working for and together with all of you during my year. Thank you. On behalf of all our club members, I wish to congratulate Betty Jo on her very successful year and for her leadership and guidance. I'm proud to be a Rotarian and especially proud to be a member of this Rotary Club of Mississauga West. It's truly an honor and a great privilege to be standing here before you today as club president, because when I started my journey 3 years ago, never in my wildest dream did I imagine that I would be standing here in this capacity. I thank the past presidents and all members for the confidence and trust you have placed in me, and I will do my best to meet the challenges of the job, working together with the help and support of our experienced and competent board members. That is your leadership team. We will together work towards representing the Rotary mission and values to the best of our abilities and attempt to make this service club that people would prefer to join. And as it is an awesome club that does amazing things, and we will do our best to represent it well. I would like to take a moment to request every member who held the post of past president in this great club to please raise their hand to be recognized for their great work and sacrifice during their time as president, because of which our club is where it is today. Please raise your hands, both hands if you served twice, and if you served 3 times, then God help you. Alan Kerr, I think that's you. And thank you for your dedication. Let's give them a big round of applause, everybody. They deserve that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Now, a little about my Rotary journey and how it changed my life. May I please take a special moment to pay a tribute to a fellow Rotarian, past president, my best friend and late Uncle Bashir Khanbai, who had promised to fly out from England to be with us today, but sadly passed away unexpectedly on April 16, 2020. And he would have been very happy and proud to see the fruits of his labor, and had he been with us today. It makes me happy to know that his wife and son are here to witness this. Thank you for being here. He literally initiated my Rotary journey and promised me that Rotary would positively change my life, and yes, he was so right. Because of his guidance and support, I am where I am today, both in my personal life and as a Rotarian. Some of you may remember him as a guest speaker at our club 2 years ago, speaking about European Parliament, of which he was a member, representing Britain. I'm also very happy to welcome my sponsor, mentor, and a great friend, Renee Blanchette, who made it happen. You have honored me greatly by being here today, Renee. Thank you so much. It's been a long and tough journey, but as I stand here before you, the positive changes and mental adjustments I've had to make all proved worthwhile. Around mid-October 2016, I had a call from Renee Blanchette inviting me to visit this club, which I did very nervously, but received a very warm welcome from all members. Then I met Renee Blanchette, under whose guidance and mentorship my journey began, leading me to where I am today under the leadership of then President Jennifer Nago. Thank you, Renee and Jennifer, for all your continued support. My induction was completed on March 5th, 2017, but by then I was already hooked into Rotary, as I had already participated on my first international project, being the Caboca polio inoculation trip to Mexico in February 2017. Having grown up in Africa under similar circumstances, that trip made a great impact on me, as I could very much understand and relate to the hardships and needs of the people we were helping, And that is the reason why I have been on every trip ever since, as it brings great emotional joy and satisfaction going out doing this work of helping the needy. In June 2017, Tareen Kamal became president, and I'm grateful to her for appointing and trusting me with the membership chair under her leadership and guidance, where I learned a lot, and my thanks go out for her continued support ever since. Thank you, Tareen. Soon after, we had the Toronto Rotary Convention in 2018, and my friend Betty Jo, not only did she invite me to attend, but asked me to sign up as a floor supervisor in the House of Friendship, which I blindly did, not knowing what to expect. To my surprise, not only did I learn a lot about Rotary and what it represents, but I had a great time and experience seeing and learning new things, and made a lot of new friends worldwide. Thank you for the opportunity, Betty Jo. During the term of Joseph Plants in 2018, as our president, I continued to be on his board as membership chair and got to learn more about Rotary and his projects. Thank you, Joe, for having me on your team, and it was my pleasure working with you. Fast forward to June 2019, when Betty Jo took presidency, before which she nominated me to take up this position, for which I was neither ready nor qualified. But finally, I reluctantly gave in to her charming requests, and the rest is history. Ever since I became a Rotarian, Betty Jo has been a great mentor and a pillar of encouragement and guidance, for which I'm very grateful. She has put her trust and confidence in me by giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Betty Jo, for your ongoing support, without which I will not be standing here. Honestly speaking, I learned more about Rotary and its fellowship by participating in as many projects and trips as I could, such as Mississauga Marathon, Camp Enterprise, Toronto Rotary Convention, Lobster Fest, Rib Fest, Easter Seals Christmas Party for the children, Caboca polio trips, and the best one so far, the Nogales Shoeboat Project in Nogales, Mexico, which I traveled to in January of this year. I would particularly like to thank Bernie Varco and Diana for the encouragement and support on the Nogales Shoebox project. My thanks also go out to each and every member of this Rotary Club for welcoming and guiding me along my Rotary journey. As your incoming president, I do not intend to make changes for the sake of changing, as all past presidents have already done a fantastic job of guiding and steering us in the right direction. So my focus will be on the following issues. 1, keeping our membership strong, increase female membership even as we focus on other diversity, and carefully selecting members that perpetuate what our club and Rotary is all about. Remember, we are not looking for perfect Rotarians, but service-minded leaders who are willing to stand up and be present. Number 2, my goal is to have most new members on some committee, because the fact is, if a member is not invited to participate, over time there is a strong chance that he or she will end up leaving. Number 3, keep the Rotary Foundation and overall vitality of a club strong. And 4th, encourage more member participation in club leadership and training when available. I wish to take this moment to strongly encourage and request your members to actively participate in most of our service and fundraising projects, by which you will not only make new friends, but you will also learn a lot of new skills. Just think of Rotary as the cheapest and easiest MBA course you can do. Rotary teaches you personal development skills such as public speaking, leadership training, positive thinking, and most of all, give you self-esteem and confidence, whilst teaching you about your community. Rotary's service to humanity should not be defined by only what we do, but more importantly, by who we are. It is about our personal contributions that we make to those in need, in the community we serve. We must all work together and support each other to keep this Rotary Club of Mississauga West amazing. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." This is who we are as Rotarians. The more we give of ourselves, the more we're likely to receive so that we can continue to make a difference in the lives of others. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to pass it over to Betty Jo for her final thoughts.
Thank you so much, Sajad. And good evening, everyone. Absolutely my honor to be addressing you all one last time as president of the Rotary Club of Mississauga West. This year has gone by so quickly, and what a year it's been. It's certainly been full of a lot of ups and downs, but considering the circumstances, I am really satisfied of where we have ended up today. First, let's talk about our giving and some of our accomplishments. We start with the money we distributed this year. We gave out almost $29,000 to local charities and have held back another $8,000 for distribution in the fall. We've given $3,000 to international service with another $3,300 waiting to go to Guatemala for a health project. We contributed $2,500 to University of Toronto, Mississauga to support a student to gain some international exposure. We gave $5,500 allocated to support Rotary Youth Exchange and for local scholarships for students here. There's so much need in our world, and our club is certainly making a difference. Second thing we certainly have to cover is our Ribfest of 2019. There are many challengers in year two at Memorial Park in Port Credit, but under the calm and pragmatic leadership of Young to Go, this year's festival brought forth great strides from the learnings of the year before, and therefore a better bottom line. We certainly need to continue making improvements in order to make this event the cash generator it once was. However, we also need to stand tall and be proud of the amazing community event that we provide. Further, it is an outstanding demonstration of fellowship within our club and with our friends at the Rotary Club of Mississauga. I salute Dave Hope in taking on the next chair position, and I know we will all stand behind him with full energy and enthusiasm. A great tradition brought on by the Lakeshore Club, led by Bryce English and David Shermer, is Movies in the Park. This is what grassroots Rotary is all about, service to our community. So many people last year again enjoyed these family nights out, a chance to enjoy the summer in a festive setting. It's such a shame that we will miss it this summer. Hopefully we can generate sponsorship next year and get this regular Saturday summer evening event going. I want to thank our treasurer, Mary Jane Rodriguez, the work of, and her work. We are now fully moving away from a cash-based organization with e-transfer now available for payment, and more recently, the ability to use credit cards. Square technology had already been introduced at Lobsterfest and Ribfest, but to have Square and e-transfer available at our meetings has greatly reduced the manual labor and the risk of using cash and coupons. So thank you, Mary Jane, for bringing us into the 21st century. I mean, this is such a simple thing. However, our domain name has finally makes sense. Thanks to David Shermer's work, we are now rcmw.ca, Rotary Club of Mississauga West.ca, in the cyber world instead of that long and ridiculous name that no one could ever remember or duplicate. That is only the first step in getting us to have a stronger online presence, something that we need to do better in order to flourish in today's electronic world. This club's continued support of Rotary Youth Exchange is absolutely amazing. We have a wonderful young lady, Judy's daughter, Serena, still in Taiwan and making the absolute best of her opportunities, as we saw a few minutes ago. Then we certainly all treasure the time we had with our inbound student, Minot. This lovely young lady attended almost every Rotary meeting and always brought a smile and such positive energy. Thank you to Casey and Angela for providing her such a wonderful host family setting and all the activities your family did with her. And to all the others who made time for her, Bryce, Judy, Peter, Steve, Selwyn, and I certainly loved the opportunities we had, going to CATS, Come From Away, a professional dance theater, the Nutcracker. We went to the musical Legally Blonde and the Canadian Figure Skating Championships. Our club supported her in her dog sledding weekend to Halliburton only 2 weeks before shutdown. These are the memories that will stay in Minot's heart and help her to develop her own inner desire to give back to her community in her own special way. I know I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Rotary Youth Exchange changes lives. I'm living proof. I think Rajiv can say the same thing. My year has affected not only me, but my parents, certainly friends and family that I met and grew to love in Australia. Minot has been affected and has positively affected so many in Canada. It's a tremendous program and one that our club can be very proud to be part of. Following on the same theme, our club had a very busy weekend, November 22nd to 24th. First, it was a Mississauga weekend for our district youth exchange students. Our club again took the lead in creating a fun weekend for Minot and the other 6 girls in our district. Thanks to Mike Flanagan, Liz Durden, and Peter Cool for hosting our 7 students. With tremendous support from Dee Conti and Judy Gast, the girls had a great crafts night, a day of visiting the various falls of the Niagara Escarpment, paint night, and they proudly walked in the Streetsville Santa Claus Parade, showing that Rotary connects the world. A big part of the exchange weekend was yet another very successful Easter Seals Christmas party. Thanks to Peter Cool and the committee of Mary Jane Rodriguez and Mac LaFrance for putting together another memorable, very heartwarming, hands-on event. I really feel that our club members get as much satisfaction out of this event as our participants. There's other accomplishments too that we have to be proud of. The first one being our annual Rotary online auction. Thanks to David Shermer, we get additional funds to distribute to our community for this event. It's a great way to do so, but this needs our club support. I'm sure there will be more talk about this event leading up to the fall. The creation of a succession planning committee is really important to our club. Thanks to Alan Kerr for pulling it together with past presidents Liz Durden, Joe Plans, and Jack Smith, where you spent time looking at the future of our club and finding our future leaders to help us to keep moving forward. We had also hoped to get into strategic planning this year. However, conflicting schedules caused it not to happen. This should certainly become a focus for the next year to come. Our membership team certainly added some elements to onboarding of new members. Our information sheet is now available to guests, and our mentor program is in its infancy stage, but all great programs need to start somewhere. Thank you to Sajad and for leading membership over the last couple of years with tremendous support from Dave Hay. Now, I certainly would be remiss if I didn't say how excited I am that we inducted 3 new members this Rotary year, all amazing additions to our club. David Rollison, Dee Conte, and Judy Gast have already started to make their mark on our club, and we see future presidents in all of them. We're very excited that the 3 of you have joined us, so we're glad you're here. Now, I want you to think back to the survey that you filled out this time last year. Our board reviewed results and the survey, and we did some changes accordingly. First, we moved to 3 meetings a month, up until we went shut down with COVID. Survey results showed that people wanted anywhere between 2 and 4 meetings a month. So as a pilot project, we moved to 3. This club should review this and decide when we get back to in-person meetings where we want to be going forward. We also initiated, did more for the Mississauga cluster, and we wanted to have more cluster meetings. Our club hosted our district governor visit on September 24th with over 100 Rotarians celebrating together. I believe we set a high standard in hospitality and organization and built a foundation for future meetings. Our club was to host a second cluster meeting on April 21st with past RI President Wilf Wilkinson as our guest speaker. However, COVID interrupted. We look forward to having him in a Zoom meeting later in the fall. Then on October 15th, we hosted the Rotary Club of Mississauga and a wide range of distinguished guests as our RibFest celebration meeting. Young Nago and Lucy Shaw took us through a great evening of learnings, successes, and most importantly, donations to worthy charities in our community, the primary focus of RibFest. Our efforts over the last 16 years have resulted over $1.5 million going to our community, certainly something to celebrate. This success in hosting this event is just another example of our club leading the way in fellowship and in goodwill. We spent some time this year looking internally as well through fellowship meetings. This concept was new, to spend some time with each other to have some fun rather than listening to guest speakers from outside. And we had 3 such meetings. On November 19th, we spent the evening playing Two Truths and a Lie. This is where the table, each person had to tell 2 truths and a lie about themselves, and the table had to guess which one was the lie. We learned so much about each other. Then after dinner, we each told the whole club 1 truth about the person next to us. It is such a simple child's game, yes, yet I vividly remember sitting back during dinner, listening to the loud conversation and the laughter in the room. Clearly, there were amazing stories told and shared, and we learned so much more about each other. On March 3rd, we had a second fellowship meeting. Again, you were assigned seating, so you couldn't sit in your regular chair. This time, we had to talk at the table about our international experience that we had because of Rotary. So many stories about international conventions, friendships with international Rotarians, and experiences with Rotary exchange students were talked about. I believe this rejuvenated our year's Rotary theme of Rotary Connects the World. Then we had a third event, our bingo night. It was a risk to try a new idea, but we've had some really positive feedback. Thanks again to Dee Conte, who went out and bought herself a bingo set so she could call the game. I believe these kinds of meetings truly should become a regular part of the framework of our club to keep connected and to keep Rotary fun. And then in the theme of club participation, we had a night in September focused completely on all the committees of our club, giving new members a chance to pick their passion, and for more experienced members to either renew their priorities or to realign with new goals in order to improve the success of the club. So I think we were all pushing through very successfully, and then COVID turned our lives upside down. We first have to stop and remember the deep toll this pandemic took on us. The loss of David Hope's mom and our own member, Alan Schulman, through COVID was tragic. Continue to remember Dave and Diane and all their family, along with the Schulman family. Al would have celebrated 50 years as a Rotarian in November. Now, while Alzheimer's would not allow him to have understood, certainly all of us who knew him would remember. Now, necessity is the motherhood of invention. Never truer words were spoken. We could have put Rotary on hold as we navigate through these uncertain times. However, the desire to keep us together was strong, and the willingness to learn was evident. Zoom suddenly became a regular feature in our lives, something most of us had never even heard of 4 months earlier. Kudos to District 7080 and Jennifer's help for setting up a paid account and pushing our leaders to start meeting quickly in order to keep our momentum going. While we had some hiccups along the way, we certainly saw some huge wins. We got a live walking tour at a school in Taiwan, thanks to our outbound student Serena, including the squat toilets that she had to learn to master. We had as guest speaker our past Rotary exchange student from Finland from 2 years ago, Eilus Hakola, who told us about what he's doing now, showed us a collection of sports jerseys while he was in Canada, and reminisced of his favorite times while he was here. And then most recently, we had the great honor of having not only the 2018 Rotary Convention Chair, Gord McNally from Scotland, as our speaker, but also in attendance, past RI President Ian Risley, joining in our meeting as well. Certainly without Zoom, we could never have had this intimate conversation with a recent RI president. So to reflect back on my year as president, I circle back to what I said when I accepted this role from last year's president, Joe Plenz. My question to myself, what is my why? Why do I want to be involved in Rotary? Why do I have the energy and desire to take on this role? Well, my why has stayed steadfast all year and the last 40 years of my life. My why is to pay it forward. I want to give back all that I got when I was 17. I had the great honor of becoming a Rotary at that time. I had the opportunity to be taught by amazing Rotarians in Australia and family and friends of what it means to serve our community, both locally and internationally. I gained so much life experience, learned so much about love, and had an incredible time. It'll be 40 years ago on July 1st that I stood in front of my Rotary Club and made my farewell speech. It's actually all written in my diary. In fact, I still have my diary from 40 years ago. It's well written in my diary, a day-by-day account of my year on exchange. I close my 20-minute speech that you can see me doing here with the following statement. Swansea and Australia taught me the true definition of the words warmth and kindness. These feelings I take home in my heart, and they will stay there for as long as I live. Pretty astute thinking for an 18-year-old, I think. Looking back, I was right. I still feel the passion and the love for my second country, my host families, my dearest friends that I made along the way. While I wasn't astute enough, though, however, to realize at the time, I was taught so much more. I was taught that people can really care for others, even when they don't know them. I was taught that it feels really good to help others. And I was taught that we live in a global community and we really are all the same. Oh, it's so appropriate that my year's president was under RI President Mark Maloney's theme of Rotary Connects the World. Having lived in Australia on exchange, traveling to Austria, Switzerland, Finland, and France to visit past exchange students, with plans to visit so many more, my world is such a better place with Rotary in it. Our world is here in West Mississauga, where the Compass and Salvation Army feed those in need of food, and Arma House that exists for those in need of shelter. Our world exists in India, where Probir led us in the WASH projects to give dignity to the women of impoverished towns. Our world exists in Australia, where massive amounts of land was devastated by the recent bushfires. Our world is all around the world, where children receive those 2 precious drops of the polio vaccine to ensure they never experience the destruction and the devastation of the polio virus. So what's next? It's now time for me to pass the torch to Sajad. However, I don't see this as my chance to step down. I see this as my calling to step up. You see, I've learned that as president, I or any other president cannot run the projects, drive membership, lead fundraisers, or mastermind outreach programs. The role of the president is busy with keeping the structure of the club intact, members engaged, and bylaws followed. It is all of us, the members of our club, who support our president to step up and take our club to future success. It is incumbent on each one of us to think about our own why. Why are we here? How do we generate that energy and passion within ourselves to step up and offer new fundraising ideas, community outreach programs, and social interaction methods? I throw this challenge to each and every one of you. What will you do in 2021 to support Sajad, to support this club, to support your community, and to support Rotary? Please think about it and come back on July 7th with a renewed sense of your own personal why. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, your encouragement, your experience, your guidance, and especially your patience. I have been so honored to stand here as your president. And I think of all of you, and I have to tell you, I think all of you should thank my mom. Without her support and overruling my dad, who said I was too young to go on Rotary Exchange for a year, I never would have started my path in Rotary. To my husband, Rob, and my children, Chris and Leah, I am so blessed to have you by my side. Your tolerance in letting me do what I enjoy is such a gift. I want to thank Rajiv Vijay who I met when my daughter was applying for Rotary Exchange. It was Rajiv, who was president of this club at the time, that really ignited my desire to join this particular club. I want to give a special thank you, of course, to this year's board of directors. Such an amazing group to work with. Your wonderful energy, your kindness, your leadership, your direction, your support, you certainly made this job really easy. As I step down from this role, I can never thank enough past Assistant Governor Jennifer Nago for her tremendous passion and leadership. Having said that, I'd like to announce that I've accepted the role of Assistant Governor alongside my mentor, Rajiv Vijay, as we share the Assistant Governor roles for the Mississauga cluster for 2020-2021. Please know how much your trust and your support has humbled me and inspired me. I will always be grateful. Thank you. And with that, my duties are over. Rajiv, it's all yours.
Thank you, past President Betty Jo. I will ask Selvin to share his thoughts now.
Thank you very much, Sajad. Excuse me. I want to just say hi to everyone and a special hello to our incoming president, Sajad. Just a few days ago, I received an email from Betty Jo, which said, I want to thank you for your ongoing advice, support, and encouragement. It has truly been an honor leading so many Rotarians like you. You have put so many years of service into our community. I had a very easy reply. And I said to Betty Jo, you are the one who deserves our thanks, Betty Jo. You've done such a super job. And I really meant it, and I repeat it again tonight, Betty Jo. So it was very easy when Sajad asked me to speak for just a few minutes to accept and to just run through a few things which have been highlights of my being part of the great team that Betty Jo has built and part of this club. Betty Jo, when I look back at what we have to thank you for, the list is very, very long. I'm just going to mention a few. Youth Exchange, where, in my humble opinion, you are the very best. Camp Enterprise, when you stepped in and helped when things were not going all that well. The way you've involved your daughter, who, as you said, is now about to become the new president of Rotary in Mississauga, in this very good thing that you're doing for raising money by getting bottles and so on for the beer stores. Easter Seals, where I've enjoyed every time I've been there, having you around, great chats, everything goes smoothly. Rib Fest and Lobster Fest, exactly the same thing, and many, many more. Among the activities which I have experienced with you, these all stand out. And really, I've just sent a message, which I hope my mom gets, asking her how her curling is. You really made it such a great thing for all of us to get to know these young people and interact with them so well. There are very many more things, but I just want to mention a couple. First of all, like others here tonight and in our club, I came across from Mississauga Lakeshore a few years ago, and I think you have done a great job over the years, and particularly this year, in really getting the two clubs to work together as one club, nicely, friendly, we all enjoy it. And secondly, you've had to lead the club this year in probably the most difficult time that a president has had for many, many years. And you've spent a lot of time with great results in setting up Zoom and so on, and keeping us all in touch with one another. So Betty Jo, enjoy your Rotary future as much as you have done in the past. I absolutely wish you the very best as Assistant Governor. You're going to do a great job. And I'd like everyone to unmute, and let's give Betty Jo a real virtual but realistic applause for having been such a wonderful president to us. Thank you again.
My honor.
There's
Dad,
no,
it's your meeting now, my friend.
after the official close of this meeting, we will keep the Zoom link open and Betty Jo and I will both stay on. However, before we close, I open up the floor to comments. I will start with Betty Jo's guest. Anyone have something to share?
We're very proud of you, Mom. We love you.
Thank you.
Get over to that, Leah. Love you, Mom. Well done.
Anybody else?
Yes, Betty Jo has done an extraordinary job as president of your club, and I admire everything she has done, and I thank her family for letting her do what she loves to do.
That's true. Thank you.
Well done,
It's
Betty
been-
Jo.
It's been a pleasure being a member of this club under your leadership, Betty Jo. You've done a terrific job. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Great work, Betty Jo. And
We want to thank you.
Betty
Jo, thank you for all your energy and passion.
Come back.
Okay. It all comes down to being an exchange student. I've never lost the passion since then.
She has been a great leader. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I open up the floor to our club members. Please click on the raise hand icon and Heather will call out your name to make your comments. If you can't find the icon, we will call you at the end. Is there anything else for the good of Rotary? Anybody would like to make a comment?
Yeah, I'll make a comment. We've had the opportunity to see the first two general sessions of the Rotary International Virtual Convention. I would encourage you to get in. I know Betty Jo recommended it, and for which we thank you, but we actually did. I'm scheduled for a breakout session tomorrow at 7.
And I'd also like, Betty Jo, I feel like you're a friend, and I've enjoyed doing anything that I could do to help you. And also to Sanjit, I welcome you as the new president. And I must say, I'm very proud to be a Rotarian's wife. It's a wonderful organization, and you're leading us well, and you're definitely very positive. Thank you.
Betty Jo, you are the 48th president of this Rotary Club that I have had the pleasure to work with, and I have to tell you that you've done a remarkable job this year. I'm particularly impressed with the way that you handled the COVID situation and taken us into what I hope will continue to be an opportunity to be able to meet virtually, because I think there's a lot of benefit in doing that, in addition to being able to meet together, which we'll do again very soon, I would hope.
Thank you. Agree.
Thank you very much, Betty Jo. You had an amazing leadership, and you have come up with different style, and in this unprecedented COVID meeting through Zoom. It's something unprecedented, and you have raised the bar. Thank you, and hope you'll enjoy your retirement. No, not really. No, not retirement, but just to observe and help Sajid adjust his leadership.
Thank you. Thank you again to all our guests for coming tonight to this first ever Zoom changeover for our club. We will stay on. We will stay on after we close the meeting.
Sajid, hold on, Sajid. Heather's trying to interrupt.
Oh, sorry, Heather.
No. There's a couple of other people who raised their hands. I just want to make sure they have an opportunity. Rajiv, and then Bart, and then David, please.
Betty Jo, I would like to first thank you for your leadership this year. But since I met you first through Youth Exchange, of course, thank you for your friendship and for your example. I certainly count you as certainly a partner in Rotary, but also as a role model, and I really mean that. I look forward to serving with you as AG in our region, and it'll be very neat to have two former Australia rebounds in Canada. Up to no good again, but I really look forward to it, and thank you for all you are.
Your Australian influence is strong.
Bart, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, I almost hate to talk about this, but there was a time when this club had trouble dealing with whether or not, if you can believe it, it would accept women as members. And it's a good thing we did, because the women in our club over the years have been remarkable contributors, and there's leaders, and there's no better example, frankly, than Betty Jo. But in saying that, I don't want in any way to diminish the other contributions of women leaders in our club. And frankly, we're much the better for the persons. And I mean that most sincerely. And I think back in the, I think probably around 86, 87, 88, or whatever it was, when we debated whether or not we should have women in our club. What a foolish time that was. And I just want to say thank you so much. You've been exemplar in terms of the leadership, regardless of gender. And we thank you very, very much. And not to mention Jennifer, oh my God. You know, well, I didn't really want to name names, because when you start naming names, you leave somebody out. But I just want to thank you for your year. You've meant a lot to Rotary and a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you.
David?
Actually, I just wanted to say thank you to Betty Jo. As a new member, you know, there's always the worry that, you know, the fit may not be there, and you've really gone out of your way to make me welcome, and I'm looking forward to working with you and, you know, participating with everybody over the next year.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And Dorothea wanted to speak as well.
I do. Betty Jo, you've been the wind under the wings of our club in this very difficult year. And I'm absolutely blown away by not only your energy, but the devotion to all of us that you've had. My thanks to you and congratulations.
Thank you. It's very nice. Yes, very good. Thank you.
Dorothy.
And I think that's everybody, Sajad. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody for your time. We will stay on after we close the meeting, and feel free to stay and chat. For the first time, I ask you to help promote our new theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Good day, Jad.
Good night, all.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.